The beginning of the end. My name's Matt. I'm 38, married for 12 years to my wife, Sarah. We met in college, back when life felt like it had infinite possibilities. She was this vibrant, witty woman who could light up a room with her laugh. I was the quiet guy who somehow caught her eye. We built a life together, bought a house in the suburbs, adopted a dog named Max, talked about kids but never quite got there. Work got in the way, life got in the way, you know how it goes. For years, I thought we were happy. Not perfect, nobody is, but solid. We had our routines, coffee together in the morning, binge-watching shows on weekends, her teasing me about my terrible cooking. Sure, there were rough patches. Money was tight when I switched careers to start my own consulting business, but we got through it. Or so I thought. It started about 6 months ago. Little things at first, things you could brush off as nothing. Sarah changed the passcode on her phone. I noticed because we'd always been open with our devices, no secrets, no locked screens. One night, I needed to check something on her phone, I think it was to look up a restaurant's hours, and when I asked for her code, she hesitated. Just a split second, but I saw it. Her eyes flicked to the side, and she mumbled, "Oh, I changed it. It's 4729 now." I didn't think much of it then. People change their passcodes, right? But it wasn't just the passcode. She started taking calls in the other room. Not every time, but enough that I noticed. She'd glance at her phone, see the caller, and say, "I need to take this," before slipping into the bedroom or out to the porch. When I asked who it was, she'd wave it off, just work or a friend, nothing important. Her tone was casual, but her body language wasn't. She'd avoid eye contact, her fingers fidgeting with her hair or her coffee mug. Then there was the distance. Not physical, she was still there, sleeping next to me, eating dinner across the table, but emotional. She stopped initiating conversations. Our morning coffee chats turned into her scrolling through her phone while I tried to fill the silence. When I'd ask how her day was, she'd give me one-word answers: fine, good, tired. Sex became rare, and when it happened, it felt mechanical. Like she was going through the motions. I'd lie awake afterward, staring at the ceiling, wondering what I'd done wrong. Am I overthinking this? I'd ask myself. Maybe she's just stressed. Work's been crazy for her. Maybe it's a phase. I wanted to believe that. I clung to it. But deep down, something felt off. Like a low hum in the background of our marriage, growing louder with each passing week. The first clue. The real red flag came in February. I was doing our taxes, something I've always handled because Sarah hates numbers, and I noticed something weird in our joint account. A withdrawal of $2,000, labeled as a miscellaneous transfer. I didn't remember authorizing it, and Sarah hadn't mentioned anything. I checked the statement again, thinking it might be a mistake. Nope. There it was, clear as day, transferred to an account I didn't recognize. I brought it up over dinner that night. "Hey, babe, did you move some money out of our joint account last month? There's a $2,000 transfer I don't recognize." Her fork froze halfway to her mouth. Just for a second, but I caught it. "Oh, that," she said, her voice too light, too quick. "It was for a work thing. A vendor payment. I forgot to tell you." She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "A vendor payment?" I pressed, keeping my tone neutral. "For what? I didn't see any invoices." She shrugged, poking at her pasta. "It was a last-minute thing. I handled it. Don't worry about it." I didn't push further. I didn't want to seem paranoid. But that night, I couldn't sleep. A work thing? Sarah worked in marketing, not procurement. She didn't deal with vendors. And why hadn't she mentioned it before? I lay there, listening to her soft breathing beside me, and for the first time in our marriage, I felt like I was sleeping next to a stranger. The spiral. After that, I started paying attention. Not obsessively, at least, not at first, but I couldn't unsee the signs. She'd come home later than usual, claiming meetings or drinks with the girls. But when I'd ask about her friends, people I'd known for years, she'd get vague. Oh, just catching up. No details, no stories, no laughter like she used to share after a night out. Her phone became her shadow. She never left it unattended. If I walked into the room while she was texting, she'd tilt the screen away or lock it quickly. Once, I caught a glimpse of a message before the screen went dark. Just a fragment, can't wait to, I didn't see the rest, but it was enough to plant a seed of doubt. I started checking things I never thought I'd check. Her location history on Google Maps disabled. Her social media locked down, privacy settings maxed out. I even looked through her purse one night while she was in the shower, hating myself with every second. Nothing. No receipts, no notes, no evidence. Just her wallet, lip balm, and a pack of gum. I felt like a creep, but the hum in my head was louder now, impossible to ignore. Is she cheating? The thought crept in slowly, like poison. I didn't want to believe it. Sarah wasn't the type. She'd always been loyal, hadn't she? But the signs were piling up. The late nights, the locked phone, the distance. I started replaying our marriage in my head, looking for cracks I'd missed. Had she always been this secretive, and I'd just been too blind to see it? Or was this new? Was it someone else? I tried to talk to her. One night, after another silent dinner, I reached for her hand across the table. Sarah, are we okay? I asked, my voice softer than I meant it to be. You've been different lately. If something's wrong, you can tell me. She pulled her hand back, just a fraction, but I felt it like a slap. I'm fine, Matt, she said, her tone clipped. Just tired. Work's been a lot. She stood up, clearing her plate. I'm going to bed early. That was it. No reassurance, no explanation. Just her retreating to our bedroom, leaving me alone with my thoughts. The discovery. It was March when I found the email. I wasn't snooping, not exactly. I was using our shared laptop to pay some bills, and her Gmail was still logged in. I know I shouldn't have looked, but I did. There, in her inbox, was a message from someone named Laura K. The subject line, next steps. I hesitated. My heart was pounding, and my mouth went dry. Don't do it, a voice in my head warned. You're crossing a line. But I clicked anyway. The email was short, but it hit me like a freight train. Sarah, I've reviewed the documents you sent. Everything looks in order. We can move forward with the filing as soon as you're ready. I recommend scheduling a consultation to discuss asset division and alimony. Let me know when you're free to meet. Laura. Asset division. Alimony. Filing. My stomach dropped. I read it again, then a third time, hoping I'd misunderstood. But there it was, in black and white. Sarah was planning to divorce me. And she hadn't said a word. I scrolled through the thread, my hands trembling. There were older emails, weeks worth. Sarah had been consulting with Laura, who I now realized was a divorce attorney, since January. She'd sent financial statements, including our joint accounts, my business accounts, even our mortgage details. One email mentioned protecting your interests and ensuring a fair settlement. Another referenced a strategy for maximizing her share of our assets. I felt sick. Not just because she was planning to leave me, but because of the secrecy. The calculation. She'd been sitting across from me at dinner, smiling, kissing me goodnight, all while plotting to take everything we'd built together. I closed the laptop and sat there in the dark, my mind racing. Why? Was it another man? Money? Had she fallen out of love with me years ago and just played along? I thought about confronting her, screaming, demanding answers. But something stopped me. A cold, quiet part of me that whispered, don't react. Not yet. The plan. The next few weeks were hell. I couldn't look at Sarah the same way. Every smile felt like a lie, every touch a betrayal. But I didn't confront her. Instead, I watched. I listened. And I started planning. I'm not proud of what I did next, but I don't regret it either. I hired a private investigator. Yeah, I know, it sounds like something out of a bad movie, but I needed answers. I couldn't trust my own eyes anymore. The PI, a guy named Tom, was professional, discreet. I gave him Sarah's schedule, her phone number, everything I knew. Just tell me what she's doing, I said. I need to know. While Tom worked, I dug into our finances. I'm not a lawyer, but I've run my own business for years. I know how to read a balance sheet. I started noticing more irregularities. Small withdrawals from our joint account, transfers to accounts I didn't recognize. Nothing massive, but enough to add up. $500 here, $1,000 there. Always labeled vaguely, consulting fees, miscellaneous. I cross-referenced them with her work schedule. Most of the transfers happened on days she was working late. Then Tom called. "Matt, you're not gonna like this," he said. He'd followed Sarah for a week. No, she wasn't cheating, at least, not in the way I'd feared. No secret lover, no hotel rendezvous. But she'd been meeting with Laura, the attorney, multiple times. And she'd visited a financial advisor, someone Tom identified as specializing in divorce settlements. Sarah was moving money, quietly, systematically. She'd opened a separate account in her name only, funneling small amounts from our joint savings. She was building a war chest. The final piece fell into place when Tom sent me photos. Sarah, sitting in a coffee shop with Laura, going over papers. Sarah, at a bank, handing over documents. Sarah, looking over her shoulder as she left, like she knew someone might be watching. I was furious, but I was also calm. It's hard to explain. It was like the anger burned so hot it turned to ice. I knew what I had to do. The counter-strike. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I got to work. I consulted a lawyer of my own, not Laura, obviously, but a guy named Mark, a friend from college who specialized in family law. I told him everything, the emails, the transfers, the PI's report. "She's planning to divorce me and take half of everything," I said. "Maybe more. What can I do?" Mark was blunt. "If she's moving assets already, she's playing hardball. You need to protect yourself. Now." He walked me through my options. Our state's divorce laws were no fault, meaning Sarah didn't need a reason to file. But assets acquired during the marriage were considered marital property, including my business. If she played her cards right, she could walk away with half my company, half our savings, and alimony to boot. The thought made my skin crawl, not because of the money, but because of the betrayal. This wasn't the woman I'd married. Mark helped me take steps. First, I moved my business accounts to a new bank, one Sarah didn't have access to. I restructured my company, transferring ownership to a trust that Mark set up. It was legal, he assured me, but it would make it harder for Sarah to claim a share. I also froze our joint accounts, not enough to tip her off, but enough to slow her down. I transferred a chunk of our savings to a separate account in my name, labeling it as a business investment. Again, legal, but strategic. The hardest part was acting normal. Every day, I came home, smiled, asked about her day. I cooked dinner, walked Max, played the part of the oblivious husband. Inside, I was screaming. Every time she touched me, I wanted to pull away. Every time she laughed, I wondered what she was hiding. But I kept it together. I had to. The confrontation. It all came to a head last week. Sarah came home late, as usual, and I could tell something was different. She was nervous, her hands fidgeting, her eyes darting to her phone. I knew what was coming. She was going to serve me the papers. I beat her to it. That night, after dinner, I poured us both a glass of wine. "Sarah," I said, keeping my voice steady, "we need to talk." She froze, her glass halfway to her lips. "About what?" she asked, but her tone was guarded. "I know about Laura," I said. "I know about the divorce. The accounts. Everything. Her face went pale. For a moment, she didn't speak. Then she tried to play it off. Matt, what are you talking about? I don't. Don't, I cut her off. I saw the emails. I know you've been moving money. I know you've been meeting with a lawyer for months. Don't lie to me. She set her glass down, her hands shaking. Matt, I was going to tell you. I just didn't know how. Tell me what? I pressed. That you're leaving me? That you're trying to take everything we've built? What's the plan, Sarah? Clean me out and start over? Her eyes filled with tears, but I wasn't sure if they were real. It's not like that, she said. I haven't been happy. For a long time. I didn't know how to tell you. Not happy? I repeated, my voice rising despite myself. So instead of talking to me, you go behind my back? You hire a lawyer, move our money, plan to screw me over? I wasn't trying to screw you over, she snapped, her voice breaking. I was protecting myself. You're always so focused on your business, your goals. When was the last time you asked about me? About what I want? Her words hit hard, and for a moment, I doubted myself. Had I been neglectful? Had I missed something? But then I remembered the emails, the transfers, the secrecy. This wasn't about her feeling neglected. This was about her plotting. I protected myself too, I said quietly. The business? It's in a trust now. The accounts? Frozen. You're not getting half of everything, Sarah. Not like you planned. Her face crumpled, but not with sadness, with anger. You spied on me, she hissed. You went through my things? You gave me no choice, I shot back. You were going to blindside me. I just got there first. The twist. The next day, Sarah moved out. She packed a bag and went to stay with her sister, saying she needed space. I didn't stop her. The divorce papers arrived a week later, just as I'd expected. But thanks to Mark, I was ready. The trust held up, the accounts were secure, and Sarah's strategy fell apart. She'd been counting on a quick settlement, assuming I'd be too blindsided to fight back. She was wrong. But here's the part one didn't see coming. Last night, I got a call from Tom, the PI. He'd kept digging, even after I told him to stop. Matt, he said, there's something you need to know. He sent me a file. Photos, documents, bank records. It wasn't just about the divorce. Sarah hadn't been cheating with another man, she'd been working with her brother, Ethan. He'd been in financial trouble for years, racking up debts from a failed business venture. Sarah had been funneling money to him, not for her own war chest, but to bail him out. The divorce was her way of getting more half our assets, enough to clear his debts and start over. I sat there, staring at the evidence, feeling like the ground had shifted beneath me. All this time, I'd thought it was about us. About me failing as a husband. But it wasn't. It was about her loyalty to her brother, her willingness to sacrifice our marriage to save him. I don't know how to feel. Angry? Betrayed? Relieved? Part of me wants to call her, scream at her, demand to know why she didn't just tell me. We could have worked it out. I would have helped Ethan, for her sake. But she chose secrecy. She chose to destroy us. Where I am now. The divorce is moving forward. Mark says I'm in a strong position, but it doesn't feel like a victory. The house is too quiet without her. Max keeps looking at the door, waiting for her to come home. I keep replaying our last conversation, wondering if I could have done something differently. If I'd noticed sooner, if I'd been a better husband, would she have trusted me enough to tell me the truth? I don't know. Maybe I'll never know. All I know is that I protected what was mine, and I'm not sorry for that. But the cost is heavier than I expected. If you like this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends.